Today I am going to talk on my second lecture. This is in respect of slight review of discussions which we had on the occasion of the first contact session on property management. Here, property management has been considered in chapter number 2. A definition of management has been clearly given, that is by Alsop. Alsop has defined management as selection of goals and planning, procurement, organization, coordination and control of necessary resources for their achievement. This is the definition of general management. But the whole process of property management with dynamics of circumstances and activity and motivated by the need to economize use of resources and time in achieving predetermined objectives. Now here, different aspects of management are very important. By and large, it involves planning, organizing and coordinating, control. These three aspects are very much important in case of project management, property management. Now, in different aspects, as I just mentioned, planning is the first one. The planning consists of policy making group taking the decision regarding planning. Within the organization, it is very much necessary for the organization as such to take a strategic policy making decisions, forecasting all different time scales and analysis of all the underlying factors affecting organization of activities or potential activities. So, whatever management we do is consisting of all this. Management comes out of the need for resources and requirements. Resources versus requirement. How you are going to achieve your objectives of socio-economic development and achieving the objective of welfare of the people. Now, planning has to consider lengthening of gestation period of projects. You undertake projects to implement certain public projects to bring out and achieve the objectives set forth, socio-economic objectives set forth as per just now I discussed. Now, when gestation period of project gets lengthened, then what you should be able to do? It requires a skill to be able to assimilate the lengthening of gestation period is very important aspect of project implementation. In case of property management also, it is very much necessary to know that this management aspect of planning is the best way of ensuring all factors are considered and agreements made, and as a consequence policy decisions are made due to the factors before you. Second aspect of management becomes organizing and coordinating. Now, whatever resource you have got, whatever objectives you have decided, now how you are going to organize for execution of whatever decisions and objectives you have kept before you. And there are number of activities which are required to be coordinated. Therefore, organizing and coordinating aspect becomes very important. Now, in this case, for implementation of any project, the person who is experienced in the field, setting up it involves setting up a structure to perform management brief with several approaches. So there can be number of ways to achieve a particular objective or number of goals. Now this is a field of aspect of skill and efficiency in organizing and coordinating activities and actual results. This can help to a successful achievement. Now next aspect is control. Methods of monitoring will have to be adopted to give appropriate feedback. 4 functions of management are very important to policy makers to take a policy decisions. Now one aspect is the relationship of management to a property. It consists of formulating strategic plan, defining corporate aims and objectives. Now aims and objectives could be split in 3 time scales: long term, medium term, short term. The second part of relationship of management to property becomes actions and resources are coordinated within tactical plan. Regular monitoring and reviews, that becomes a part of, you have to while executing a particular project management, you have to properly monitor it, and at stages you have to take a review, and whatever feedback is given in the process has to be again by taking suitable decisions for effective going ahead. This will help in relationship of management to property management. Now estate management process, now it has been given in chapter 2 pages 21 to 31. Management plan input on page number 27 is very important. We have discussed earlier. Now here again, in my first lecture of second session, I mentioned about certain terms. Now two more terms are very important from exam point of view, like shared appreciation mortgage, which means lender originates a mortgage at favorable rate of interest, that is several points below current rate, in return for guaranteed share of gain. So whenever investment is there, one who has got the money, financer or a lender, he originates such type of a mortgage and offers attractive and favorable rate of interest. In return, he will definitely expect a guaranteed share of whatever you gain out of investment. So borrower realizes this when property is sold. Second important term is reverse annuity mortgage. Now in this under this term, regular monthly payments are made to borrower based on equity the homeowner has invested in the property, given it as a security to loan, ensures or allows senior citizens on fixed incomes to realize equity build-up in their homes. Borrower is charged at a fixed rate of interest. Loan is eventually paid when property is sold. Now this is the first part. The process of planning is a blending of social and economic goals of private and public entities. That is allocation of resources, especially land, it is of vital importance. Used for achieving maximum efficiency for welfare of community. As you know, development process has been and is dynamic one, and change is the rule of nature, and profitable alternative use is very important. In property management, property manager or estate manager has to be very much know-how of this. Its anticipation and managing social, economic, political and physical forces, determining the location, form and yield to fetch highest net return is the management. Understand, anticipate, and perceive, and to know all about these shifts in land uses. Land use cannot remain static. With the process of dynamic changes that are taking place during any time or as the time passes on, new things are happening, new things are coming up, and new policy decisions enable new avenues to open up in respect of real properties. Therefore, vital in the process of management of land. Need for housing, take for example, for shelter and social amenities and transportation network, very important from public welfare and issues point of view. Government's control therefore becomes here necessary. Many times use of real estate when it is in private sector is interested in self-motivated interest. However, when we think of it, public welfare is your objective, and therefore from that point of view we must understand government's control becomes essential. So when we think about laws affecting real estate, we must know what sort of different legislatures are now in force which affect the real estate. So urban land, there are certain laws which are urban land related. For example, we had Urban Land Ceiling Act. Content of land holding in certain section of the community has made land values to go up, and for common man it was not possible to have piece of land or place for living. Shelter being one of the basic essential requirement of man, it is very much essential that government should come forward to that, and in response to that issue, Urban Land Ceiling Act 1976 had come into effect. Of course, when it was only 3%, 2%, 3% or 4% achievement, government had to withdraw that act, and instead of easing the matter becomes more complicated, land values went very high, and therefore withdrawing urban land necessary. Now second act which is land related is Land Acquisition Act 1894, acquisition of land for public purpose, interest of the community at large than interest of individual is the basis of this. So constitutional amendment 73rd and 74th amendment to give more power to local authority at grassroots level, and second point, to have optimum utilization of real estate. Therefore, it was made necessary to prepare a proper plan 30 to 40 years or 20 to 40 years projected population, assessment of their requirements, provision of necessary amenities, facilities, services to the people at large was very much necessary. Now we have dealt with the provisions of Land Acquisition Act at length earlier in the first semester. Law on Urban Art Commission is another act which is of importance. Along with that, I will also first of all mention about Town and Country Planning Act. I have got Maharashtra Regional and Town Planning Act 1966, which makes provision for preparation of regional plan. Today, for all the districts, we have government sanctioned regional plans. For all the cities, we have got development plan. In Western Maharashtra, many of the local authorities have also prepared town planning schemes under provision of this act. All these proposals, zoning, reservations, infrastructure development and improvement, there are parts and parcel of these provisions of this Town Planning Act. Now there is recent amendment in the form of development. If land is minimum 40 hectares in area, that is 100 acres, you can prepare township land and with providing all the infrastructure facilities required for the families to whom you are making provision under this township. Take for example Magarpatta, Amanora, Blue Ridge by Paranjape scheme near Hinjawade, and so many are there even in Mumbai and other parts of Pune. So this is all these implications come out of the provisions of Town Planning Act, which is concerned with real estate, that is land. Now Improvement Trust Act, today we have got Improvement Trust in Nagpur. For Mumbai it was withdrawn. For Nagpur it is still there, and advantages you can see in Nagpur. Nagpur has horizontal development, but there is no paucity of land as such. It is horizontally developing, making available many sites for housing purposes. Now management of housing we have dealt with in my last lecture. Now urban development authorities are also necessary. When you prepare certain plans for implementation of proposal, now it has been seen that it has not been possible for all the local authorities to implement master plan to fullest extent. And about infrastructure facilities, that only 25% of the master plan proposals were implemented. So it is on one side land values are increasing and shelter problem is going out of control of common man. Therefore government had to think about regional plans they have prepared, proposals made in regional plan about our urban development authority. So Urban Development Authorities Act, like MMRDA, there is an Independent Urban Development Authority Act under which MMRDA has been established. CIDCO under Companies Act has been established as Planning and Development Authority. At Nigadi, Pune Metropolitan Development Authority has been established. Now under the provisions of MRNTP Act under Section 40, a new amendment for City Urban Development Authority has also been nowadays made. At Kolhapur, such City Development Authority has been established, and where we will soon see in few years its effect on the ground. Now there are, so far as land is concerned, local authority like municipal authority have got jurisdiction which is notified by municipal authorities, and Municipal Council Act, Municipal Corporation Acts have been since Britishers' time. These laws have been enacted. Now provisions of these acts are necessary for the functioning of local authorities carrying out discharging their duties. Under the provisions of Constitutional Amendment 74, 12th schedule has been introduced and made compulsory while you make a provision in DPDC. Metropolitan Development Authority has now been Development Committee has been now proposed under this, and they have come into existence. Now there are certain laws with Revenue Department of Government, like Land Revenue Code, Bombay Tenancy Agricultural Lands Act, the land matters which is concerned with the real estate. Now in case of environment, quality environment, sustainable development, effects and advantages, benefits of sustainable development, and environment, a pollution-free environment is the requirement. Every corporation has to prepare environmental status report. Nowadays it is compulsory binding on the municipal corporations. That is under the Environmental Protection Act 1986 that has been enacted. Now it has come out of the Stockholm Conference year 1972. So many happenings are there in between, because in spite of so many efforts, Government of Maharashtra have come across unauthorized developments and it became necessary for dealing with the matter of housing, shelter requirement of the man. Maharaj Guntewari Development Regularization and Control Act 2001 was passed by Government of Maharashtra. In addition, there are several regulations, rules provided which in response to the provisions under MRNTP Act 1966 and several Municipal Council, Municipal Corporation Act. There is a provision of building bylaws under this act. So, considering both the provisions, so standardized development control rules and regulations and building bylaws have been framed, they have been brought into practice nowadays. So, this is the situation about laws related to real estate which affects the land values and real estate development and its management activities. Thank you very much.